Well, my dear, you must be exhausted, but okay. I will try to do my best to keep you alive for the next, let us say, 50 minutes, not 20. You asked me to shorten my presentation. Okay, I will do that, no problem. I was very pleased to hear our colleague from Price Waterhouse, I understand, Joe Appleton, saying that we are in the heart of business. HR people are in the heart of business. Of course, I am a HR guy, so I'm pleased to hear that. By the way, I'm also the president-elect, so I'm pleased. But I would ask to someone, maybe Joe or another one, to tell the same thing to the general managers. I don't know if they think the same. I don't know if they share this statement. I think that we must be at the heart of business. I'm not quite sure that now we are at the heart of business. We have some opportunities, and we will have a look at that. So I've prepared a presentation which maybe now is too long, but I will try, as I said, to shorten it. The title is Future Trends in HR Profession. So is strictly related to what Joe Appleton was saying before. I would like to start with underlining which is the economical and the social environment in which we are working. Because, of course, we cannot avoid of working in a certain situation. When I started to work the situation many years ago, by the way, I don't tell you how many, but many years ago, the situation was very good. The development, young people had very quick career. You know, companies had plenty of money to invest in training, in people development, and so on. Nowadays, the situation is what you can look there. There is a global competition, and I don't want to spend a word about things that you know very well. There are dramatic changes in macroeconomy. The wealth is going east. From the Western countries is going to Eastern countries and to Brazil, Russia, and so on. We are more and more talking of work flexibility, not just inside the company, which is more or less normal, but outside the company. That means offshoring. That means jobs which go away from old countries to new countries. The world financial situation, I'm working mainly in the banking sector, so I'm very keen to this problem. But you can imagine there is credit crunch, there is a new regulation which are coming in the near future, the so-called Basel III, which will cause a credit crunch for industrial companies. We have public deficit, as you know, in many countries in Europe, mainly in Southern Europe, but also in Ireland and maybe in other countries. The business standards are changing. We cannot no more talk about productivity only. We have to talk about ethics. Is a word that maybe in the past was not so utilized, but we have seen many things that have happened in the last years that certainly request ethics in business. Corporate social responsibility, the sustainability of the business in the long run, not just in the next 3 months. Of course, there are more and more regulations coming from the government and the technological and the industrial innovations. So this is what is coming in the general picture. So if it works, but it does not work apparently, can you help me? It's just to go to the next page. Okay, thank you. So the next page is which is our HR management contest, which is the contest which is just around our job. So we are working in a kind of knowledge-based economy. That means know-how, motivation, engagement. We have spent a lot of time today talking of motivation and engagement. And I agree, they are very, very important. But know-how is important as well, mainly in our economies in Europe. In Western Europe, we cannot compete with China or with other low-cost countries on cost, on labor cost. It is impossible. And I think we can share this statement easily. But we can compete on quality of products, high-tech products, and I wanted to make just two examples. One is Germany, of course. You know, the high-tech products coming from Germany. Or there is another case that I like to quote is Italy. If we talk about fashion and design, the products that come and the services that come from these two countries are high-cost products, Mercedes, BMW, Italian luxury products, or design furniture coming from Italy. They are very cost, but they sell very well around the world because they have something different. They win the competition, but of course they don't compete on cost. And the people they need to produce this kind of products must be very good people, high-tech people, engaged and motivated people. Work flexibility, I don't spend any word about that. The organization structure of the companies are always more and more rapidly changing because they have to, let us say, to compete in a always changing environment. We have the more and more a convergence of skills. More and more we work in a, let us say, project group mode. And nowadays, our groups of people, mainly technical people, come from, let us say, 10 or 15 different countries. So we don't have only the convergence of skills, but we have the convergence of people coming from different, maybe also religion, history, and so on. Global best practices changes. You know, now more and more we are starting to talk about standardization in HR skills. Some of our colleagues in HR association coming from US recently have asked us to participate to a program of certification of HR according to their methodology. We will see, but probably we will try to have our European methodology. Human capital is a key competitive factor. This is very important to me because, of course, you know, the real competitiveness of a company, and I share what Joe was saying before, is in people. Because you cannot win only because you have more money than another company or because your technology is better. Your technology can be better for 6 months maybe, but after 6 months you will be reached by your competitor. But if you have a good organization or a very good organization structure, very good people, motivated people, that is not easily overcome by competitor. And leadership, this is another key factor. It's not easy to find leaders in a normal company, I can tell you. I have been working with thousands and thousands of people in many, many different companies. And when you find a real leader, you have to say, okay, I have been lucky today. Because, you know, we have maybe good people. We have people who normally do what they are asked to do, but leaders are something different. And leaders are those who create group, who create, let us say, who help young people to grow. Okay. Trends of change in our profession. Okay. I will skip this because this is a very old story. Orientation versus people, orientation versus business. Okay, I think that we are business managers in charge of people. This is my opinion. We are business managers as the others. The difference is that we are in charge of people. That's all. We have some basic consequences for our profession from this picture I have tried to underline. We must be business managers, so we have to understand the business of the company in which we are working, which does not happen very, very normally for HR people. We must be involved in organizational structure. We must increase our human capital. We must be the owner of the process of human capital management. That is something that is very big, very important, very rewarding job. Okay, there are some other issues, but I think I have only 2 minutes, so I will try to close my speech saying that also communication, mutual trust, you know, these soft aspects. It's very difficult to have motivated people if you don't communicate with the people. At the end, okay, there is a list of things that EAPM is doing in the near future. I will quote only this BCG survey that Peter has already mentioned today. We will work on this certification scheme, and more and more we try to be close to European Union in order to get some funds for our pan-European project. I'm just finishing and saying, okay, listen, the future is a complicated one. It's not easy. But, you know, crisis, as someone has said, is something that gives a lot of opportunity. It depends only on us, I would say. Thank you very much.